Hey y'all, Alexis from Ask Alexis here, sitting in my Black Lives Matter t-shirt because Black lives do matter. And if you have a problem with that, you probably gonna have a problem with this whole live. I finally figured out what I had to say and how I felt in response, or part of my feelings in response to this. This is America, and in our Constitution, a few of the inalienable rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I think that that's there because if you interrupt all of those, that life cannot thrive. And what the collective consciousness is doing right now is figuring out a way for Black people to live and have their liberty in pursuit of happiness. This part is for my spiritual people because I am a deeply spiritual person who's had my own spiritual awakening. And anyone who has talked to me in the last 4 years knows that about me. Anyone who's talked to me in depth knows that while I am a believer in love and light and existing in that state of being, I am not a believer of morals. I believe that all is God, including some of the shadow side. Which brings me to my next point to my spiritual people. Anybody that's had their own awakening knows that they got to do their own shadow work. They got to confront the toxic behaviors that's in them. They got to confront ways that anger comes up and it gets projected in other ways. And that is a part of the healing journey. So to those of you who are spiritual workers, telling people who are angry not to be angry or not to display signs of anger, know that we are doing collective shadow work. This is for the species. What goes on in the United States affects the globe. And this is the collective shadow work getting done. Because when you don't do the work, it comes out in these kind of ways. If you are an energy worker, then please, hey Angie, if you are an energy worker, send your energy instead of telling other people how to send theirs. Okay, everybody is on their own journey of evolution, and it is not your place to cast judgment on another's. So if you are a spiritual person and you trying to tell somebody else how to handle their pain and their shadow side, shut the fuck up and go send some Reiki or something like that for the goal you have intended. I said that harshly because when you tell somebody else how to be, you are imposing on their own journey of spiritual evolution. And all of these things need to come out. They have to come out in order to be addressed. If you have done your own work, you know that the first thing you got to do is radically accept yourself, toxic and all, and then decide who you want to be. So if you telling other people who are in the process of going through their shadow work and figuring out how to radically accept themselves in a country that does not, then you haven't done enough of your own shadow work. Quit telling other people how to be. Also, stop talking about Martin Luther King like he didn't get assassinated, okay? When you bring him up as an example, do recognize we still fighting the same shit today and that he was murdered. So that method did not work for the problem at hand. Not acknowledging it did. I'm sorry, not acknowledging it has created the problem. Okay? Also, white supremacists are agitating the protest. I have talked to more than one person who said they seen the vans of them pull up and get out with their own eyes. I will not call out who they are because y'all know how that goes. But know this, people out here trying to draw awareness, and that is what this looks like. You can choose to bring awareness to the problem and come up with some solutions, or you can sit here judging and shaming everybody for the way that they deal with it and know that that is not a spiritual practice for evolution, nor is it enlightened. So please stop telling other people that only love is the way to God. Love is everything that exists, including evil. Okay? And even Eckhart Tolle, who is famous for his pain body discussions, says, don't be addressing pain bodies while they're going on. Because that's just going to feed it, because the pain body wants to eat. The pain body needs to be heard and acknowledged, okay? So when you start telling people not to do, unacknowledged, unvalidated, and unacknowledged pain turn to rage every day, all day. I don't care who, hey Tracy, I don't care who you are. That's just how that shit works. So please, please, if you consider yourself to be a spiritual practitioner, say your prayers. Talk to the people who you can talk to and give them the love and light and be the change in that way that you want to see. But know this, the people out there fighting on the front lines is also being the change they want to see. That's just the only tools they have to get there. Your judgment and shame and condemnation does not make that better, does not make it stop. And if you really are an energy worker, you will realize it actually feeds into it and makes it grow. And you are counterintuitive or counterproductive towards your goal at hand. Everything has a collective impact. And these protests bring the collective truth or the collective shadow side up. This is the process of healing. The thing you need to do right now is decide who you want to be and be the best version of that. But don't tell others how to be. That is not a spiritual practice at all. That's not the journey of healing. Everybody has to exist in their own stage of growth, and we are evolving as a collective species. If you think it's wrong, then be more right yourself. I think that's it because I feel like I'm triggering myself. So I thank everybody that's watching. I hope y'all like and share it. And even if you don't, I still meant that shit. And I love you and I wish you the best. Do your own work instead of telling other people how to be.